So it's one of those videos again. Brian Kilmeade, he needs to get a reality check. This dumb motherfucker apparently doesn't understand what century we live, what year we live in. He's so fucking obsessed with this crap with Russia that he's like, well, we're talking to Vivek Ramaswamy, he would go, oh, well, you wanna give up Ukraine to Russia, and that would be Eastern Europe, and here's a reality check, Brian. We don't live in the Red Scare anymore. We don't live in the 1950s. We don't live in the McCarthy era, you fucking dumb retard. Yes, you, Brian Kilmeade, the Fox host. You're so mentally retarded you don't fucking understand what year you must live in. You're so obsessed with this fucking Russia bullshit that half your brain fucking rotted when you don't even realize it.
I'm just going to answer you. It is in our interest.
Detailed contours of a deal. I think it is not in our interest to play hardball there and make a hard deal that requires...
Hold on. Oh, let me fix this a little bit. There. Block out the other two idiots.
Any reneging on that deal to have major consequences.
Like what? Like sanctions, so like we have right now?
Well, sanctions aren't doing shit, Brian. If sanctions were doing something, Russia wouldn't be invading Ukraine. This is the problem with Fox hosts. They're literally CNN light. They're controlled opposition. And then you have the retards at Wikipedia doing this fucking... Oh, the Great Replacement, also known as replacement theory, or Great Replacement theory, is a white nationalist far-right conspiracy that... no, it's not. If it were a conspiracy, then what all the crap with the border wouldn't be happening. Our military would be at the border, securing everything, and making sure that people who actually want to come are coming, and we're not getting criminals. That's a fact. But it's also a fact that Wikipedia is run by a raging, brain-dead leftist who fucking hates Donald Trump and doesn't seem to realize that maybe he needs to step back and actually use his damn brain for once and go, oh, I'm impacting my website. I need to fucking stop. It's real simple. Wikipedia. Knock your shit off. You don't get to tell other people how to live. You don't get to tell other people how to fucking act. The same with BlackRock. You want to force change, Larry Fink? Okay, come to my house and we can fucking settle it like men. But you're not a man. You're a cunt and a coward who wants to tell everyone else how to eat, sleep, breathe, shit, fucking how to live. The same with Brian Kilmeade and Fox News and CNN and Dana Bash. They want to control your fucking life and not be honest to you and not tell you what's really going on. That's the news media nowadays.
Well, look, I think that we have to be able to have real consequences, maximum pressure campaign. We have sanctions. We don't have a maximum pressure campaign. And I can go into the details of that, and I have at the Nixon Library and elsewhere. But what I'm saying, Brian, is the clear principles are this war doesn't advance U.S. interests.
Yes, it does.
Russia-China alliance...
And here we go.
Eastern Europe, if you give up Eastern Europe, we'll be in a world war.
If I may ask your question.
No, we won't, dumbass. Because it's not going to... This is the issue with Brian Kilmeade. He doesn't know when to shut the hell up, turn his goddamn brain on, and access the critical thinking parts, and go, why am I sounding like an idiot? Oh, because my bosses brainwashed me into thinking this way. We're not giving up Eastern Europe to Russia. That's not the goal. Putin is not Stalin. He's not in favor of bringing communism back. He has literally said so. Whether you believe him or not, that's not my fucking problem. We have a really bad case of Russophobia in the White House, in the media, in the press, because these people apparently don't realize what year they live in. They don't realize that we're not living in the McCarthy era in the 50s when the government was trying to scare the fucking shit out of everyone with, oh my god, your neighbor could be a communist. Your neighbor could be a Russian asset. And we're not living in that era anymore, you fucking morons. This is also the problem with the Central Intelligence Agency. No, they don't have America's best interests at heart. If they did, they wouldn't fucking assassinate people overseas. They wouldn't have assassinated major American leaders in the 60s. They would fuck off, shut up, and sit in their damn corner. Dear Brian Kilmeade, wake the hell up, pull your dick out of your ass, and realize what fucking year you live in. Because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what year you're living in. And you're sitting there like a moron crying about Russia and shit when we have other fucking issues to deal with in this country. Now, credit to Benny Johnson for talking about this stuff as well. These idiots think that most of their fucking viewer base are stupid, and they're right. Half their viewer base is stupid. Because those people can suck it up like a sponge instead of stopping, hating themselves, and going, what the hell am I doing? These people are lying to me. I need to go find other freaking sources of information. I'm not going to CNN because CNN gets paid to lie. In fact, let's go all the way freaking back to this.
Okay. January 6th.
Sure.
There is no evidence that it is an inside job. It was a fringe conspiracy theory that the Trump...
No, it wasn't. And I don't think Dana Bash understands how governments work. I do. My dad worked in the government. My dad was retired U.S. Navy. He worked with people in the government and in the Pentagon when he wasn't on subs. Out to sea. He knew how our government worked. She doesn't. She is what you call a state propagandist. Blonde, dumb, stupid, and doesn't question the narrative. She is a typical, well, this is just conspiracy. This is just a, do you have a brain, Dana? Do you know how to actually ask real questions? Because it never sounds like it. Seriously, there really are times where you could actually question the narrative. You could actually go, well, that doesn't make sense. Like, what the hell are we feeding these people? She'd probably be fired for that. But then that would mean she actually grew a brain cell and went, I shouldn't be doing this.
Appointed FBI Director Christopher Wray has said...
Also, Trump did not personally appoint Wray. This is what some people don't seem to understand. There's an appointment process. Christopher Wray is on a fucking list like this. A list of names, a list of appointments, a list of people to get the job. And yet all the drones at CNN go, well, Trump put him in office. Trump appointed him. Trump. Yeah, you're not getting the entire picture from Dana Bash, and you're repeating their fucking idiocy by constantly spamming that. There really are times where instead of repeating the garbage at CNN, the people who go, well, Trump's the one who, appointed him, do some research. Most people don't know how to do research anymore. They just sit there, listen to someone like Dana Bash and go, okay, yeah, that must be true. No, it's not. This is why people need to get their head out of their ass, get off their backside, and actually look shit up. Instead of just passing something off like the Heritage Foundation is a right-wing website. No, it documents election fraud on both sides of the aisle. They literally go bipartisan, unbiased. They document both election fraud on both Republican and Democrats. But people don't know that because they pass it off as, well, that's just a right-wing conspiracy. You don't want to be educated? Good for you. Sit there, slobber, and I'm sure something will, eventually happen.
Explicitly over and over is just not true.
So let me.
And how do you know it's not true, Dana? You don't. You just repeat the same crap that your bosses tell you to repeat.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to address it. I was an anti-woke crusader leaving the business world, and if you had asked me 3 years ago, is there some chance January 6th is an inside job, I would have said that was crazy talk. I would say looking at the facts of the video footage that have come out, Dana, it is shocking that you still haven't gotten a clear answer of how many federal agents were in the field that day. Look at now the video footage of actually throwing explosives and rubber bullets into what was a peaceful crowd, then releasing to the public what came in response to that. But now look at the video footage that was released, and I'm glad.
Oh yeah! Wow! What do you call that? Firing musicians into a peaceful crowd.
"35 U.S. Capitol police officers are being investigated for their actions during the January 6th riot at the Capitol, according to a police department statement released Friday, while 6 have been suspended without pay. 5 people, including a Capitol police officer, died in the violence when throngs of former President Donald Trump's.
Actually, that was, I know it's routers, they're not honest, they're never going to be, but the officer that was killed by, that didn't actually happen. Brian Sicknick died of a fucking heart attack a week after January 6th. But they don't report that because, they don't want actual freaking honesty. And people go, well, I'm sorry. It was a It was a peaceful protest. They weren't fucking doing anything. Why would the cops need munitions? Why would they need tear gas launchers? The crowd was not up the steps yet. It wasn't even at the step. It was down below. And these fuckers launched munitions into the crowd.
Committed suicide. Investigators have been looking into the response by the Capitol police officers.
I'm sure they are. Yeah, of course the New York Times can't even be trustworthy. Yeah, see, this is the problem with YouTube. They don't tell you the truth. They only show you fucking shit that will fucking make the leftists brain dead and enraged, but they don't actually show them, wait, that's not actually what happened. Yeah, and these guys, I don't even know who the fuck they are. Yeah, and yeah. Actually, I've seen that. I've actually seen that. That's not the whole thing. Trump literally told people to go home. This is the problem with the fucking media in the United States. Were the police complicit? The police caused it, you dumb fuck. Yeah, I'm sure she was injured, uh-huh.
Now, obviously, with all of the excess footage that has been released, thanks to Matt Gaetz, quite frankly, but also credit to Speaker Mike Johnson for getting it done. We've now seen so many more angles, so much more footage of who actually started and provoked the violence that day. And unfortunately, it was the police. There can be no doubt about that. That their police indiscriminately fired, whatever you
Watch.
call it, flashbangs, non-lethal munitions into a crowd that was otherwise just milling around.
I'm sorry.
Standing around, was not making an active effort to attempt to get into the building, was not making an active effort to assail any cops themselves.
It was a violent mob at the Capitol.
Gave the order.
No.
Decided that, right, we're going to fire into this crowd. And it was at that point that you can actually understand.
They incited it.
Pushback and things spilled out from there.
The Capitol Police fired munitions into a crowd that was not violent. It was not doing anything. It was not attacking anybody. The fucking cops launched munitions into it. That's reality.
Do you really believe me, or do you expect me to believe? Do you really expect me to believe that all of a sudden they just found these documents out of nowhere? Like, oh, whoops, we just woke up one day and found out that there were classified documents over there somewhere. No. Cut the crap. There's a reason the establishment and the regime is turning on President Biden. Rush Limbaugh, believe it or not, actually predicted that this would happen. Now, he said it would be about the laptop, not necessarily about classified documents, but that's not the point. He predicted that eventually you would see, this is Rush, not even me, you would see former President Obama using leverage to undercut President Biden from inside the White House, and that they would be using this to reestablish a path for a new candidate to come into office. Who's that candidate, you ask? Well, I'll tell you something. It ain't Kamala Harris.
It's Newsom.
So what I've been told, and this is what we got from our White House official, our White House staffer. Let's just go into it. Because I asked, I said, what's going on with the shade war? Can you give us some background? Here are the notes. It's a madhouse. Nobody trusts each other in the slightest anymore. Advisors have been pointing fingers over leaks, and staffers loyal to those respective advisors have subsequently split into factions. The shade war as a conventional conflict is over. People on both sides are still conducting smear jobs, but it's mostly uncoordinated and carried out by extreme loyalists. Other than that, the White House has dissolved into a battle royale. Every man for himself.
If Putin's successful in Ukraine is not prosecuted under international law, everything we said since World War II becomes a joke. He will continue beyond Ukraine.
No, he won't.
Lindsey Graham, I couldn't agree more. The United States needs to be doing everything as possible to defend Ukraine, to stop Russia.
Hold on. We'll get back to that in a moment. Yeah, no. It's all a joke now.